What's going on, y'all? WD-40 here. Hope you guys staying warm. I'm going to show you a video here in a little bit about how cold it got last night here where I live. Sorry my voice sounds a little messed up. I think I'm getting a little cold here. Looks like my comment section, everybody thinks I was puff passing. But nope, that ain't the case. It's getting a little bit of a cold. Got the snivels. Because, we got the world's warmest weather at minus 40 degrees. So, yeah, it's a bit breezy. Still ain't got no heat up in the studio because, at minus 36 below, it's kind of hard for a mini split to keep up. But let's get into the story here. Trump calls Zelensky a dictator after blaming Ukraine for Russian invasion. And good on Trump. I'm going to pretend like I'm a leftist here and just read the headline and not the story because it seems to be that's all the left cares about is the headline and not the story. So here's my opinion on it. Oh, wait a minute. If you guys watch any of my videos, you already know that I've called Zelensky a bullshit artist, a con artist, kind of like a preacher. I've always said that us Americans, well, not all of us, but a lot of Americans have taken the wrong side of history on this one. And because of the Biden administration, we've always been told Russia's bad, just like the leftists think Orange Man is bad. But if I was going just by the headline right here, Trump calls Zelensky a dictator. I say good on you, Trump. It's about time you did, man. Now, if you could do that about them other scummy bastards called Israel, but not the Israelis, but that Netanyahu and that government of theirs. Definitely scumbags. Yeah, of course, in my comment section, there's a lot of Israelis that I found out that are pretty scummy, too. But maybe that's just the way they are. That's the way they was in the Bible, and that's the way they are here. Anyways, let's get into this actual story, and let's actually read this, unlike the left that only reads this much and makes the assumption on anything. All right, here we go. Washington. I'm going to guess this story, Caitlin Yillick, she must be like CBS or NBC or something. So I'm sure this is going to be left-sided all day long. Washington. President Trump attacked Ukraine President Zelensky as a dictator without elections. Oh, really? No elections. Huh. Yep. Now, I'm pretty sure Ukraine don't have the same laws that we do. A American president can stay president past his term if they're in a war. Now, I looked this up a little bit ago, and that's not the case here. They're supposed to have their elections. And Zelensky, not following the rules, go figure, puts him as a dictator. Trump called it right there, and we're only in the first sentence. So, yeah, he's right there. Echoing rhetoric from the Kremlin about the war in Ukraine and escalating a public feud between the two leaders. In a post on Truth Social, that's still around? Okay, that's a new one. Wonder if anybody actually uses that. Hell, maybe I should download the app and use it. I didn't think it was still a thing. Anyways, Truth Social on Wednesday, Trump lashed out at Zelensky, accusing him of duping the U.S. into providing billions in aid to Ukraine and misusing it. Yeah, he did. I've been saying this all along. How many tanks, Stinger missiles, armament, weapons. Man, we have sent them way more than just in the billions. I'm going to guess that we're hitting 750 billion to $1 trillion on this worthless country. Think of it as a modestly successful comedian. Zelensky talked to the United States of America into spending $350 billion. That is lowballing it, I'm quite sure. I bet we've sent them more than that in just tanks and Stinger missiles. To go into war that it couldn't be won. That never had to start, but a war that he, without the U.S. and Trump will never be able to settle, Trump wrote. And he's probably right there. How can you end a war if one side is willing to talk, this being Vladimir Putin and the Russians, but you already have Zelensky saying he ain't all about peace. He don't want peace. He has stated that. He has came out into the news and stated that. Then my opinion on that, if you watched any of my videos, is that he simply does not care about his people. It's a normal human being thing that you care more about money than mankind or your fellow countrymen. Now, I've always said Zelensky is a con artist. I've always put him up there with Joe Biden, a preacher, the Pope, all of them, con artists. It's where he puts. Mr. Trump inflated the amount of assistance the U.S. has sent to Ukraine since the Russian invasion in 2022. The U.S. has provided $66 billion. Don't you all wish that's all we sent over there was $66 billion? I bet our eggs prices wouldn't be $14 a carton. Milk wouldn't be $12 a freaking for a small thing of milk. But okay, $66 billion, that would be nice. And security assistance in total, Congress has approved $175 billion in economic, humanitarian, and military aid to Ukraine. Okay, CBS here. Did we spend $66 billion or did we spend $175 billion? See, this is what I mean about the left. When they make stories up, the misinformation that comes out of them is ridiculous. This is why everybody in America voted for Trump and went to the right side instead of the left. Everybody's getting tired of being lied to. And you leftists, you better hope Trump doesn't ask Elon Musk to look into how much the Biden administration truly gave Ukraine. That would shut you some bitches up real quick, I bet you. He refuses to have elections in a very low in Ukraine polls. And the only thing he was good at was playing Biden like a fiddle, Trump wrote. Called that one too. I'm telling you, Biden and the leftists, complete gutter trash. How these people don't live underneath bridges is beyond me. A dictator without elections, Zelensky better move fast or he is not going to have a country left. And I agree with Trump there, completely. Zelensky was elected president of Ukraine in 2019 with 73% of the vote. The country has delayed elections that were scheduled for early 2024 because of the war in Russia. One recent poll in Ukraine showed 57% of Ukrainians said they trust Zelensky compared to 37% who said they didn't. Now you got to remember, in Ukraine, there are still a lot of Russians that live there. So that your 37% is probably real Russian people. They just can't get back to the mother country, if you will. A senior administration official told CBS News that Trump's attack on Zelensky was a direct response to the Ukraine president saying that Mr. Trump appeared to be operating in a Russian-created disinformation space. Well, I mean, come on. Have you ever known a leftist or anybody in Ukraine to ever tell the truth? How do you get a truth out of a Nazi? You know, we thought we got rid of these type of people in World War II. But no, Ukraine and Zelensky felt like them were the people to promote and be the best for Ukraine. Nazis, believe that crap. And we know the Nazi thing is true because we have seen little pendants on Ukrainian soldiers of the Nazi symbol. Whether you leftists believe it or not, it only takes you a few minutes to search Even that old-ass worthless service called Google Search. And you'll find them pictures. You'll find videos. And you'll see it for yourself. Don't act like the right is making this shit up and that the right is full of misinformation. We've been saying it since the Ukrainian and Russian war started, that you all were on the wrong side of history. This just further proves it. All right, back to the story. We are seeing a lot of disinformation, and that is coming from Russia. That ain't true. Zelensky said on Wednesday, unfortunately, President Trump, with all due respect, when somebody says with all due respect, that means they're getting ready. The next words out of their mouth is a bold-faced lie. So here we go. With all due respect is living in this disinformation space. No, sorry. We have intelligence services and we have people on the ground. Nobody's going to admit that, but we have people on the ground. It's not disinformation if we have FBI, CIA, NSA telling us what's going on. Zelensky is not going to be able to bullshit people anymore. What really got him caught up is when he took that drone of his own drone, and flew it into Chernobyl. That got him caught up. That got a lot of people's eyes on the left, the center, and the right. That woke a lot of people up. And if you guys ain't seen my video on me calling out Zelensky, then go back and check out my video, because I disproved that Russia did that. And I showed the proof and the evidence with their own film footage, with their own pictures. Zelensky comment came after a day after Mr. Trump blamed Ukraine for starting the war with Russia, which they did. Of course, the war's been going on a lot longer than any of us know. Russian President Vladimir Putin, badass dude, launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, falsely claiming Ukraine was run by neo-Nazis. There we go. Who posed a threat to Russia and its neighbors. And we know this to be true. Even before the Ukrainian war started, Russia was going after their so-called terrorists. You know, you leftists, you guys always want war. You guys always want our country to go after our so-called terrorists. But when we do it, it's okay to you leftists. But if somebody else does it, it's not. You guys are a confusing group of morons. U.S. and Russian officials met in Saudi Arabia earlier this week about ending the war. Ukraine officials were not included in this meeting. Well, yeah. Why would they be included? Zelensky came out and said he did not want peace. He didn't want peace for Ukraine. I mean, why would you invite a dictator like that? If you don't want peace, why should you be invited to the peace talks? You became the number one asshole. You did it to yourself, Zelensky. Ukraine, you did it to yourself. And unfortunate for the Ukrainian people, the world's tired of you because of your president. The world no longer sees you as peaceful people. You guys started this war with Russia. And I know Biden, being the old man that he was, because, you know, in the 1980s, every other movie was about going to war with the Russians. And the American people, and I know for sure because I've spoke to some Russians here online. Russians don't want war with us Americans. There's a lot of Russians that wish they could come over here to America and chill with us, because they know we're good people. And a lot of us know that the Russian people are good people. Not to you people to the left, though, because everybody is the enemy to you guys. On Capitol Hill, several Republican senators disagreed with Mr. Trump's criticism of Zelensky. Yeah, but we called them Republicans rhinos, or, you know, fake Republicans, leftists. Senator Lisa of Alaska, she's in Alaska. Who cares what she has to say? I'm just skipping what she says because I don't even know why Alaska is even part of the United States. Still should be either Canadian or Russian, in my opinion. But yeah, there you have it. I can't understand why the left is mad at Trump for trying to bring peace. You have to side with the person that's ready to talk, which is Vladimir Putin. Now the left see Vladimir Putin as this bad guy. Is he bad though? But you leftists also claim that Biden and Obama was one of the best presidents America ever had. And the sad thing is you leftists out there, you guys ain't even educated enough to even know who Abraham Lincoln is, who George Washington is. You guys know nothing about our country. We could put a map with no names of every state in the United States, and you dumbasses couldn't even point out where South Dakota is, where Oregon is, where Washington, D.C. is. It is amazing you all know where your own address where you live. You guys on the left, you stun me. And every day I grow more and more to dislike you guys. I don't want to take your side no more. You took a person like me that is center, that used to be center to left. Now I'm no longer center. I may be going straight right here now. You guys are idiots. You guys are more about misinformation and you believe it than anything else. And to all these people who make videos saying they don't like America, why are you still here? You don't deserve to be here. I bet you don't pay your taxes. You call yourselves an American. You love all the free speech that you get. How you can go out to a shopping mall or buy stuff on Amazon or eBay. You think you're going to get that in other countries? You live in a country, you leftists, where we're not at war with anybody right now. Except for you leftists, you guys want to be at war with your own countrymen. You're a sad and pathetic group. You guys need to take a moment and look in the mirror and shut yourselves up before you make a comment. Now, it looks like we only got 2 comments in the comment section. Okay, 3 if you want to talk about wine. And you can see my name right here. And I say, about time people woke up about Ukraine. Zelensky belongs in a zoo. Ryan D says, Trump doesn't know East Europe from Middle East. Russia attacked Ukraine. Russia didn't attack Ukraine. Russia, or the Ukrainians, have been doing terrorist-like things to Russia over the past 10 plus years. That's a decade. Now, let's take, for example, not that this would ever happen, but just as a simple example, what if Canada sent some people over the United States and started torching our buildings and stuff? Would you guys side with Canada? Or are you left mad because Russia defended themselves and Vladimir Putin is tired of Nazis, straight up Nazis, terrorizing his people? Man, you guys are fucking stupid. Ukraine can't have election as it is currently at war. Yes, they can. Ryan D here. Sad thing is we're the only country, in Britain, that if we're at war, we can't change presidents. But we've been in lots of wars. Lots of wars we've been involved in. And during elections, our country here in America still votes in a new president, or depending on if the president's running in a second term, Obama. We either keep our president or we get rid of it because it's a law. Ukraine does not have them same laws that we do. So, too bad for you, Ryan. Ukraine held elections. Guess where Putin will target his attacks? Nowhere. Putin wants peace. Maybe Orion D here didn't get the news. Or maybe he's one of them motherfuckers that only read the headline but not the story. Because that's a leftist thing. Because I honestly don't believe people of the left know how to read. Of course, I blame that on No Kid Left Behind. I think all you leftists, your classroom must have been special ed. That's right, the voting polls. Guess who is really a dictator? Ryan, you are, it kind of sounds like. The man who changed the names of the waters. Well, no, actually, if you go off the coastline of Louisiana, it actually says Gulf of America. That didn't have nothing to do with Trump. Just like the plane crash had nothing to do with Trump. But y'all blame him for it, even though it happened over in Canada. Morons. Banned press from coming to talk to him. No, actually he didn't. He got rid of what he calls fake news. The same shit you guys watch. The same shit you guys believe in. Then look at Cody down here. Look what Cody says. Anybody named Cody is probably a dipshit and probably weighs 700 pounds and has to sit in the bed of his truck to drive it. But Cody Stark here says, oh, that's rich coming from the orange chicken-wise Nazi. Why does it always got to be orange? What? Do you see a picture of Trump here? Is he orange? He don't look orange. But look at Zelensky. For a man that supposedly is fighting war with alongside his soldiers, he's awful white for being outside all the time, isn't he? I mean, black people don't understand this, but you know us white people, we go outside and we start getting dark. Some of us start looking like Mexicans, including myself. But yeah, good on Trump here for calling out Zelensky. He needs to do more of it. I don't know why Mike Pence is even a thing anymore. We already know he's a traitor. So, yeah, there you have it. Just one little news story. Trump, keep rolling that ball, baby. You're doing a good job. Your transparency's great. You're letting the whole world know exactly where you stand. Takes big balls to do that. Unlike them leftist people who claim they got balls, but really, all they got in between their legs is a set of lips. Hope you guys stand warm. I'm going to show you another video about Trump going after the forest and fishing game, which is a good thing. And I'll get into that later. So y'all stay warm, stay safe. And this is HW40. You know what I'm about to say. I'm out this beer.